Tara's coming. Hello, so we're all here for our channel follow-up. And we were just talking prior about Anna receiving information in a meditation about beings of light, and something about the planet Saturn, that Saturn and planet Earth are connected somehow. So I'm receiving information that I need to share about the planet Saturn. That is the very first time that I receive importance about this planet, because I'm not an astrologer, I'm not an astronomer. I just like celebrating the full moon, and that's about the size of it. So to move into the information of the higher galactic I'm trying to find a word for it. It's
Federation.
Federation, yes. It's like an army.
Yeah.
It's like
that's
the
what
Air Force.
yeah.
Correct. It's like the Air Force that we know, similar to the Air Force on planet Earth. But this is the Federation, and it's a federation of light. And so Saturn is being brought to the forefront for the light workers to understand what Saturn is, and the rings of Saturn has always been questioned. And so the information about these rings, Saturn is becoming a very high frequency energy that has information that is only now being released. It has had information stored within it for eons of time by other galactic high frequency beings. And so Saturn now is resonating, and the rings of Saturn is like the light being turned on, the light switch being turned on, if you will. And this light switch being turned on is the activation of these rings, and each ring is remnants of other planets that have imploded within themselves. And the remnants, let's say the information from these planets of zillions of times prior, now we are being accessed, we are able to access through the beings of light, the extraterrestrials, through them, the information that is being shared not to humanity but to all of the universe. And so some of us are moving deeper and deeper, and it is only through our meditation moving deeper within, and the only way that we can access such incredible information that is now accessible to us is through meditation, moving so deeply within. And how to move deeply within is by our channeling methods that we have learned. And the channeling method is to move in as deeply as possible by surrendering the mind, the ego mind, surrendering all of our thoughts through the breath and moving deeper within to surrender and let go of the mind, of our thoughts. And that is the only way that we can feel that we are traveling. And the traveling is not in any way traveling, but allowing ourselves to receive and consciously connect, because these wavelengths, these communications is likened to a radio, and the stations, the radio channels are always there, but we need to fine tune, to pinpoint the exact channel where that information, that specific information that we did not know existed. And now we are able to connect and just fine tune to be able to connect to that channel. And we've learned about channeling, and this is what it is, to fine tune and to be able to access through our own selves to connect the right channel, the very high frequency channel. And the only way to connect to high frequency is to become that frequency. To move into, to access the Venusians, you need to be able to access the seventh dimension and its consciousness. We are talking about consciousness and nothing else. So because of our channeling classes that have tremendously helped, and that is why we need to continue to follow up. We need to stay together, and we need to support one another so that we can continue to consciously remember that these classes enable us to move deeply within to access a higher consciousness of the frequency. And this is only the beginning. And so these high frequencies through Saturn bring holographic imprints, you see. And these are messages that have been available to humanity forever, for years and years and years, and it's light years that we cannot even count. And it has been there accessible until we can fine tune our consciousness to the high consciousness frequency of this information. And so now we are finally able to begin to access this information to help us to awaken to ourselves and to others, so that we can communicate freely. And it is only by increase of humanity who, like us, are allowing themselves to move more deeply within, to be able to access higher frequency consciousness and connect with these beings. It is the only way that disclosure, as you know what disclosure is, will be available. Because that is why we cannot see the beings of light, because when they come, extraterrestrials, they come, they are holographic images. And they can be made available to some humans, but they can never come here because the frequency is too low. Fifth, sixth, and seventh dimension frequency beings cannot be seen by third dimensional beings, only because when you resonate at a high frequency, your spin, because remember, everything is a spin. And so as your chakra system, each chakra spins. If it's not spinning, you're sick, you're blocked. So it's the spinning that creates the light. And so the light raises the frequency to access more information. And to access more information is to resonate at a higher frequency. And once you do that, you are more balanced and you heal whatever needs to be healed. Your mind, your emotions, your physicality. Because the physical form is too heavy to undertake high frequency beings. And thus, even if the high frequency beings are among us, which they are, humanity cannot perceive them to be, because they spin at such a high frequency of light so fast that they cannot see, unless sometimes a camera can take a brief image of such. Or in the corner of our eye, peripheral vision, we can see something move quickly, which many of us have seen in the past, but most people see, but they just let it go. So Saturn is a very important planet because it has information that was stored, that has been stored. It's like a filing cabinet. And now the drawers are being opened to those who can access this information. And they resonate to the 7th, 9th, and 11th frequency of light and of consciousness. And so it is.